Atmospherium, thank you so much for joining me on call here today, and we're checking out Flat Earth, Not Another Rude Bear Game. I will once again drop a link in the chat for anyone who wants to try playing along. And yeah, sorry, if I could ask you to just repeat quickly your background in I guess the sort of like audio programming and sound design that you were part of in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so background in both programming and music, and done a lot of stuff in Ludum Dare over the years. And I started teaming up with Alex, I don't know, 5 years ago at this point, maybe longer, probably longer. So I tend to make music for his stuff, or if there's audio programming, I'll do some stuff here and there. I made some utilities for Unity on the asset store back in the day to do different kind of audio filtering and effects and stuff that you can do just through the Unity engine. So kind of dug into the code side of the audio stuff as well.
Nice. So what sort of effects would you end up creating?
So a range of like filters and distortions and compression and different things. I had worked on, building some audio sequencing stuff. A couple of my older Ludum Dare games are things that I kind of tried to do procedural audio within Unity on. I never got super far down that path because it's complicated. But always enjoy finding a way to merge some of the music stuff I enjoy in the programming side as well.
Nice. So like when you're talking about like queuing something up, it would be like one sound playing and then another sound playing when that one's finished and that sort of thing?
Yeah, for I forget which Ludum Dare it was. I ended up building a procedural audio system that would kind of bake a loop at runtime that would work in tandem with what was going on the screen. It would control outputs from different points on the screen, would send out signals elsewhere, and it would visually happen alongside of the audio. But I created it at runtime so that it could be flexible depending on what the levels were, but then added a layer of kind of mixing on top of that to make sure that stuff sat well and felt right.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, we didn't do tons of audio programming, but there's 4 or 5 minute long music loop that this has. Actually, I think it might be closer to 6 minutes when it's all said and done. But certain things will happen as you make your way through the game that will, as the music gets to different points, it'll actually trigger different spawns, such as the UFOs that's on the screen right now.
Yeah.
And then dynamically being able to kind of loop things within the confines of what's helpful for the game. But it's just a part of the track that we're looping through at that point.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, we've got pretty extreme tilt on our world here. Let's try and drop something down to even it out. Wow, it's...
Yeah, all the different objects make it pretty difficult to keep things somewhat straight.
Archer, you're needed. Where is the oh my god, the dinosaurs. Oh my gosh. This took a turn. We had like this nice peaceful start to the game and now everything's falling apart.
Yeah. The whole premise was we wanted a bait and switch kind of thing, and just be overly cheesy and sappy, and then kind of catch people off guard. And I think we got what we were aiming for.
Oh my goodness. So where did the inspiration for this game come from?
Just talking through a bunch of different ideas. The three of us that worked on the game, Alex is the primary developer, and then I did the audio stuff, and then Bits and Crafts did all the art for it. And so we were kind of just chatting together in Alex's Twitch stream while he's working on stuff. He does a lot of live streaming of his development as he goes. And it was kind of just what kind of stupid stuff can we come up with, and we've all worked together for a while, so we're kind of comfortable throwing out the dumbest ideas and feeling like that's fine to, yeah, let's just lean into that and make idiots of ourselves.
Right. Well, I don't know if I'm even going to make it like survive long enough to flip the world over because all my guys got eaten by dinosaurs.
Yeah, there. Well, this ended up not having a win condition on it. We had talked through some stuff, but just Ludum Dare timing always goes a bit wonky as you're trying to get everything implemented. So it's just kind of survive however long you can, and that's how the game goes.
So what ultimately, I gotta say, what happens if I do end up flipping the world?
I don't think that's possible. I think Alex made sure that it kind of got reined in, and uh, we had some issues where like UFOs would fly in from underneath the level and just throw everyone off, and he squashed a bunch of those bugs to keep the crazy stuff from happening. So
So you actually can't flip the world. You are just gonna get overrun by dinosaurs and aliens.
yeah, just they've replaced us as the dominant species on the plane.
Oh, that's hilarious. Whoops. Um. All right. Well. Um. Oh. Dr. Tronic, I think you did. I know that you posted a link to a jam project recently, but yeah, maybe if you are still up and around. Hey, we got a pyramid. Was that going to spawn?
That's what triggers the dinosaurs. When you had the
Okay.
archers and stuff out, they were taking those out fairly quickly, but
I
now
see.
that things are just running rampant.
Yeah, very much. I have no money left for anything, so back to peaceful, back to happy. All right.
Yeah.
Um. So, what program do you use for audio development?
So I use Reason for all of my recording and mixing and sequencing and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And I've uh, used that ever since college. But there's a bunch of people that are some of them are connected in with Ludum Dare that every week get together and have an hour to write and record a track and kind of listen to everyone's tracks. So um,
Nice.
it's kind of ongoing jam kind of thing just for music. So um, it's I've gotten my workflow down for being able to do a lot of stuff fairly quickly and just have all my equipment set up and ready to go.
Nice. Well, at this point, I just wanted to see what would happen if I tried to stack every building on just one edge of the world. Like, how close can I get to tipping the world? Although it doesn't seem to be much of an issue.
Yeah, the best bet would be save up and build the castles because those have a lot of weight to
Yeah, I noticed the entire world tipped when I had a castle on it.
them. Yeah, the castles and pyramids wreak all sorts of havoc.
Okay, so I just need more stone, more wood. Let's keep going. Um, all right. Well, do you have a useful tip or trick in Reason that you would like to recommend to others? Something that we maybe like a first time thing that others might just not be aware of?
I mean, I think more of it's kind of just the you know general approach of anything with music. I think a lot of times people just make music based on what tools they have, and music is a weird art form,
Mhm.
but you know, it doesn't take as much effort as it feels like to sound like the people you want to sound like. You just got to practice. You just got to do it a whole bunch.
Nice.
So just practice would be my tip.
All right. Well, I think we're about as close as we can get to tilting the world over. As you said, I guess it's actually not possible to do it. But oh, there go all my buildings.
Yeah, yeah. There's kind of a self-correcting. Buildings and people and dinosaurs will fall off the edge and it'll correct itself a bit.
Okay. Well, there we go. We've got two castles placed, and there
Uh,
goes everything.
so
One
I think
castle
that's a
stayed on.
successful experiment.
All right. Um, yeah, so where can people find you on social media, and do you have any other projects of yours that you'd like to plug?
I'm on Twitter with atmospherium as my username. I believe the other devs, Alex Rose, is on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter. His handle's Alex Rose Games. That might all be on our page, or it might not. And Bits and Crafts, uh, pretty much what our Ludum Dare stuff has. Um, but yeah, I'm working on a metal album at the moment to put out at some point, but nothing too exciting. Um, but yeah, eventually
All
I'll have
right.
some stuff out there.
Nice. Well, I'm going to make sure, please go ahead and post your Twitter in the chat, 'cause it looks like I found the other two, but not yours.
Okay, I can do that.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on the call and showing off Flat Earth, Not Another Rude Bear Game.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, have a good evening, and anytime you have another project, any that you or your team is involved with, please feel free to send them my way.
Sounds great. Thanks a
All
lot.
right, have a good evening. Bye bye.